Hey friends, I'm Corey Wilkins, and this is a Shure SM81. I'm the drummer for San Diego rock band Fuzz Huzzy and for the 1970s cover band 8-Track Highway. And with Fuzz Huzzy, I also do all of our engineering and production and mixing and all that stuff so we can keep our recording process pretty much entirely in-house. Yesterday, I acquired a pair of these Shure SM81s from my good pal, Uncle Tony. This is a small diaphragm condenser. Where these microphones really shine is on things like acoustic guitar, mandolins, fiddles, and drum overheads. So I'm gonna put up these SM81s. I'm gonna use an XY pattern for them, and we're going to see how they sound just by themselves. Just the drums, the mics, in the room. Wondering if you'll listen with me. Now let's give these drums a listen and kind of let's see what we think of them. So here's some things that I like a lot, and one or two areas that could just be the room. I really like how I have them set up in that kind of XY type pattern. I love the spread where the toms are maybe a little bit closer together and the ride cymbal and the hi-hat aren't super far off to the sides, but the crashes are a little further out. I really like the clarity. I like that there's really no harshness in that upper mid-range. With a lot of microphones and cymbal combinations, you tend to get this somewhere between 4 and 5K where it just gets extraordinarily harsh and it's very difficult to listen to, and you end up just automatically cutting that frequency range every time. I feel like we're getting maybe a little bit of 500 hertz buildup. That's kind of that cardboard box type sound. If I were tracking these, I'd probably cut a couple of dB from around like sort of that 300 to 500 range right off the bat on the way in and print it that way. It's not bad, and it may not be the microphones. It may just be the room that we're in. This is a good room for what it is, but it's not perfect. The other thing that I really like is these microphones really seem to capture the low end from the toms, so down in that sort of 120 hertz range or so, but they don't capture a ton of low end from the kick drum. So it's not like I'm just going to have to be adding a ton of really steep high pass filters. I like to have sort of fatter overheads. I'm not one of those guys that normally high passes at like 300 or 400 hertz. I want a little bit of kick drum there. I certainly want the body of my tom and my floor tom in there. But I don't want to have a bunch of rumble and whatever, and I don't need a lot of the thickness of the kick drum that'll really exacerbate any phase issues that might be going on. It can make your kick sound really weak and thin. Overall, man, I got to tell you, I'm really happy with this purchase. I was able to get a fair price for them. These are microphones kind of from the 1990s, I think, and they still sound amazing. So thanks again, Uncle Tony. If you guys can keep him in your thoughts and prayers over the next few months, he could really use it. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and definitely do kind of get into learning how to record your drums. even if you're not your band's engineer, just having an idea of what microphones sound good and the positioning of them, so you can always offer your help and learn your frequencies, so you can tell an engineer, oh man, my drums sound a little boxy. Can we check around like 400, 500, 600 hertz and see if we can find something in there that we can cut out a little bit to make them a little less boxy, or they sound really harsh. Can we cut out a little of that kind of 3 to 5K range? If you found this video helpful, do like, share, subscribe. That's awesome. We're sneaking up to 100 subscribers. I'm planning on doing something really fun when we get there. So as we get closer, I look forward to talking to you about my plan for that. And leave a comment if you have a particular pair of microphones that you like to use for overheads, or if you have a specific positioning you like to use. Do you like to use XY, or do you prefer a spaced pair, or are you super old school and you like the Glyn Johns technique? I was just recording with that the other day. It was super cool. So leave a comment with that, and I'll talk to you soon.